Hey everybody, happy block of the month weekend. This is March block of the month, and I'm going to show you a couple of things about your pattern this weekend, which is a texture pattern and a cable pattern. So I want to just start pretty quick on the cable patterns and show you a few things. There's 3 different cables we're going to do within this one pattern, and one is a 2x2 right cross, a 2x2 left cross, and a 2x3 right cross. So I'm going to turn this around and show you exactly what I mean. Thanks. Hold on. Don't mind the adjustment. Okay. So here you can see I've already been cabling here in the pattern, and the first thing I'm going to do, oops, let me get my yarn, is a 2x2 right cross. So I'm going to just start this without a cable needle. And the way I'm going to say is that when it says 2x2 right cross, that means these two are going to cross these two. And if you think about moving to the right over that way, and I'm going to pass up the first 2, I'm going to pick up the next 2, and pretend that you're pulling them to the right, okay? So what I'm going to do, I've got my needle in the front of the second set of 2, and I'm just going to pull, see how I'm putting my finger under all these stitches. I'm just going to, let me see, I think I split that. I'm just going to put my finger underneath all these, pull my needle out. I'm going to put it back only in the back 2, and I'm going to take these first set of 2 and I'm going to pull them to the right and put them back on the needle. Now, I've actually made the cross already, so the right cross pulls to the right, and now all I have to do is knit those stitches, okay? So I would just knit all 4 stitches. Now, let's talk about, let me go ahead and knit those. Let me get off of there. I'm going to knit those 4 stitches, because then I want to talk about how you back out of those 4 stitches. 1, 2, try not to split your yarn. Okay, so let's say I made a mistake and I need to back out of that right cross. For me, my fastest way is I know there's 4 stitches involved. And I'm gonna pinch under all 4 and I'm gonna slide them back off the needle. And I've pinched under all 4. This yarn is really good for this because it's a wool like it is. It's not very slippery. So I'm just gonna naturally let these uncross. Well, I'm going to have to undo the knit, so I'm going to gently pull it out. 3, 4, and now they naturally uncross, and you can see them right back in position for me to just put my needle in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now I'm going to do the left cross. And then I'm going to show you how to back out of that. So on the left cross, we're going to take the first set of 2 and we're going to pull it to the left over this way. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to go to the back, put our needle into the second set of 2, and then slide everybody off. I'm going to put my needle back into the first 2 and it pulls to the left. Then I'm just going to put these 2 back on my needle, and now I've got my left cross, okay? So I'm going to knit these, and then we're going to talk about going out of the left cross. And you can use this back out, the back out that we just did where I slid it off the needles and just undid them slowly while pinching underneath. You can do that on this, or let's say now I want to back out of this. I'm just going to unknit my stitches. There's 4 of unknit. Now I'm going to slide my needle back into this, slip the stitches off, put them back in the back, and put them back on the front. And that's all there is to that. Okay, now that was the 2x2 right cross and the 2x2 left cross. Now I want to do the 2x3 right cross, and that is you're going to skip 1, 2, 3, and you're going to go in to the last 2 stitches, or the 3rd, 4th, and 5th stitch. You're going to pinch underneath all of these stitches, slide your needle out, put your needle back into these 3 stitches, and pull these 2 right cross and put them back on. So it's the same thing, it's just that you've brought in an additional stitch. You've done 5 instead of 4. And so for me, if I was undoing these, I haven't knit these yet, but let's just say I made a mistake. I can just take these back off, slide everything off, and put stitches back on my needle. You can see that these stitches don't slip away very easily, so I'm back to normal. Now I'm going to show you that 2x3 right cross with a big cable needle. I can't find my little one, so I'm not going to worry about that. But on a 2x3 right cross, we are going to take the first 3 stitches before we just skipped over them. We're going to take the first 3 stitches, put them on our cable needle, and hold it to the back. Then we're going to knit the next 2 stitches, and then we pick up our cable needle and knit the stitches from the cable needle. So you just slide it over here, and then you just knit these 3. So now you're doing the same thing, but you're incorporating a cable needle. I wanted to show it to you without the cable needle first, so that you could see how easy it is to not incorporate another needle, another tool. But if you're uncertain, we'll review this again. It won't be the last time, but you can get out your cable needle and do that. And I'm just going to back out of this, and we'll do a 2x2 right cross or left cross. Oops, here, I'm just going to let this go. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to uncross them, put my needle back in. 3, 4, 5. So let's say I'm going to do a 2x2 left cross. So I'm going to go in to the back. I'm going to pick up, I'm sorry, I was in the wrong spot. I'm going to pick up the first 2 stitches, slide them off onto my cable needle and hold them in front. And then I'm going to knit the next 2 stitches. And then I'm going to slide over to the knitting needle side, and I'm going to knit the 2 from my cable needle. Sorry, looking through the camera and looking at my hands, it's a little odd. So you can see the cross that happened there. And then that's that. So taking them apart is all the same. You can unknit them, you can take them off the needle and gently pull them out, whatever way is more comfortable for you, but you should attempt it as practice first, maybe on a scrap piece of yarn or something, and you don't even need to have this much done. You can just try a 2x2 cross and then undo your 2x2 cross on something that doesn't matter. And I'm going to back out of this, and just so that I can get back to where I was and show you about the rest of this block. So here you're going to be looking at this kind of modified waffle stitch in a different direction. You can see the angular crosses instead of straight up and down crisscrosses. And honestly, this pattern isn't going to make sense, or you're not going to really get a good visual until you get through maybe one of these triangles. See how you see all four of these in one, and then it starts to show itself. It's almost hard to see when you've made a mistake until you get a little bit more of it. But the thing that's going to save you on this pattern is when you get over here to your stitch marker that says you should be done. If you haven't finished with the correct stitch, you know one of these is wrong in here. You did one too many or not enough. So you will wind up backing out of this. So this is going to get you practicing backing out of your knitting. Don't be afraid of this. It is one of the most valuable things that we can have as knitters, is to be confident backing out of our stitches. So I did it several times just in this little piece. And that's just because I wasn't paying attention or something happened. But it is just knits and purls, so I feel real confident that I don't really need to review this as far as show you how. And you're going to see that, once you've placed your markers in these strategic spots, it's going to also remind you when you should be changing stitches. It's going to help you stay on track. All right. Well, I'm excited. I hope that I can't wait to see everybody for Block of the Month. It also happens to be our 11th anniversary at the social network, so I can't wait to see you guys. Have a great day. Bye.